Alright, so welcome back to my Ayrton Senna driver career here on F124. It's round number 6. We're going to Austria. The standings currently look like this. We have a 36-point lead over Max Verstappen after winning 4 of the first 5 races, which is just foul. Of course, we go to qualifying looking to repeat the form that I've been showing by getting a pole position and then a race win. Let's see how it goes and have it. Oh, that is not a pretty sight. So I forgot to completely mention that this is a sprint weekend, obviously at Austria, which means I've got to do 2 quali sessions, and the first one is absolutely pouring down. And I am one of the worst wet weather drivers to ever grace this terrible game. Right, I don't know if it's just me, but this track looks a little bit drier and, you know, there's less rain than before. So I might have actually banged this intercall. As you can see, everyone else is on inters as well, so this lap needs to be big. Let's have it, and let's get up there. Come on. And I am going to be very, very heavy with this ERS usage. Turn number 1, proper late on the brakes. That was still a bit too early. Ride the curbs. Full throttle out the exit. That was a good turn 1. A little bit early on the brakes, but I'll get away with it. And now we have turn numero 2, technically number 3, because they for some reason count that little slight left up the hill a turn. We are going to be half a second up on signs through sector 1, but don't forget that was on the wet tyres. Like I said as well, I'm going to use way more overtake on this lap. It's going to be a 1:11 dead for Lando Norris on the intermediates. That's way too early on the brakes. I'm actually going to ride the curb and get on the grass. That was not good, and I've lost a lot of time through there. Now we have the double lefts. Come on, let's go big. That was really, really bad. My goodness, massive step of oversteer, but I've managed to hold it. And we do it again. Yeah, that's okay. Use more overtake. This lap's been pretty poor by my standards. I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near good enough for the position that I want, but I was very fast through there. Final corner, slight breakage, over the line, right on the exit. I had a really good ending to that lap, fastest sector 3. And it's going to be a P2. You know what? I absolutely take that. That is a massive win. I did not think that lap was anywhere near good enough for second, but that sector 3 was class. That was great. Right on the edge as well in the final quarter. What's my margin? 2 thousandths. Are you taking the absolute toss pot? 2 thousandths of a second denies me a sprint pole. Wow. I mean, what a lap by Fernando Alonso, but that's really, really frustrating. Holy moly, that's really annoying, but I can't be mad with a second row. Oh, no, sorry, front row. That's class. We go into the sprint race, starting second, a decent start, we go into P1. It's looking very promising as well, car feels nice. Let's go, do the sprint race, and have it. And here we are in the sprint, and it's a lovely dry summer's day. What a time to be alive! I love the dry. It's so nice to see the sun blessing this great track. We start second, very promising. I think a win is definitely on the cards, but it all starts with, you know, the start. If I can get a good one, good launch, P1 off the first corner, bosh. Now, obviously, as it's a sprint race, it's just going to be 8 laps of 1 medium stint, and that should get us all the way. There is actually a world where I might be able to use the soft tyres. I'm lying. You're not actually allowed to use the softs at all. I know you can. Nah, we'll go with the mediums. We'll be safe. 1 extra lap of fuel. We're ready for the sprint. And you know how it goes. Let's have it. I believe in a good result here, but it all starts with the start. Let's get a good one. That's minimal wheel spin, and I am gone. Fernando Alonso, see you later. Max Verstappen. It's not even Max Verstappen, it's Checo Perez in second. Where did he come from? I have no idea, but that is exactly the start that I needed. And I can now head into turn 3, which it's not, it's turn 2, but they call it turn 3. Into the lead, which is lovely. And now I need to try and get... Whoa! Big oversteer snappish. That was not fun. Someone's gone off behind, I think. I think it's one of the Ferraris that have spun. But, you know, going through lap 1, and I lead. And I have no idea how this car's going to perform in the dry, because I've not driven in the dry yet. Because it was a wet quali. Got it? Cool. So there's lap number 1, 1 minute 7.88 for Ayrton Senna, aka Fat Crim, aka me. We are almost outside the DRS of Checo. Not quite. I don't think I'm going to be able to, just because, you know, my car ain't that great. Another fastest Sector 1, and I tell you what, Turn 2 has been very tricky for me. I keep out-braking myself, and now I've got to be careful of the DRS of Checo, because that Red Bull's fast. Don't go for it. Thank you very much. Yeah, that Red Bull is mighty in a straight line. I'm going to be very careful of that. Luckily for me, though, I've got a lot of DRS to use. Lap number 2, and it's another fastest lap, but Checo going beats it by 0.4 of a second. That Red Bull is not messing about, and on the vehicle performance chart, the Red Bull is actually way ahead of us at McLaren right now. Here comes Checo. He's going to go down the inside. I'm going to play the tactical game here, brake a little bit earlier, so I get the DRS going down the second DRS straight. Checo gets a good exit, but now I've got DRS, and that, oh my goodness, that Red Bull's got a good acceleration and all. I'm going for it. Round the outside of Checo Perez. Let's try not go on the gravel. Make it stick. And we are still fighting, and Checo gets the position. That was a good bit of fighting, and I think the Red Bull might just be a step ahead in the race pace department this weekend. I mean, my McLaren is just weaker on paper, so yeah. The fight ain't over, though. We do have, you know, another 5 or 6 laps. Here comes Fernando Alonso, though, down the inside. Can you not? Let's relax here, buddy. Let's just, you know, chill a little bit. Round the final corner, and I can definitely fight Checo here. My Sector 3 is mighty. To the outside, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give Checo the DRS. No, wait, I'm going to give me the DRS. By, you get what I mean. We get the DRS on as well. Back into P1. Bye-bye, Checo. Alright, here comes Checo. Lap number 6. I'm going to have to use a lot of overtake on this lap to keep him back. And he's been pestering me for the last, you know, 3 or 4 laps. He gets so close. But I just managed to hold on. I don't know if I can do it for another 2 laps, though. This man is on one. He's on an absolute mission to end my day and stop me from winning. But I'm composed. I'm a world-class talent. And I've got it in the bag to win this, I reckon. Right, update. I'm now losing to Checo Perez. Okay, never mind. Checo's definitely flying. Bit of overtake, though, to the outside. I did it to him earlier. I could probably do it to him again. This time, though, I don't want him to keep the position. I think he's going to, though. I'm going to give him space. I've got the inside line into the first left-hander, which makes it very difficult for Checo to hang on. And I've been killed. Right, I ain't gonna lie, that is entirely my fault, to be honest. I thought Checo would back out, he didn't, and I sort of closed him off. That's 100% my fault. Unlike Baku, which was 100% Sainz's fault. Don't chat to me. Anyway, let's go to about here, I reckon, and try not to crash this time. There you go. See, that's what I was trying to do. And it didn't work. Okay, sorry about that. We move. Cooking. Onto the final lap in a second. Where it all comes down to this. Will I take the sprint race here in Austria? Or will I bottle it like I do so often? Here we go. Hot lap ERS is going to be turned on for the entire duration of this lap. Now, Perez is going to be flying along. I might have to do that same thing where I try and give him DRS. But this time, I actually want the inside line, I reckon. So Perez is going to do it instead. Alright, sure. Round turn 2, I believe. What has happened there? Fernando Alonso goes from 3rd to 1st. And he has DRS. Fernando Alonso might have just nicked it. There's nowhere for me to go down the inside. What's happened there? I think Fernando Alonso done a double switchback on me and Checo. Got the DRS off Checo, or maybe even me, and he's gone and taken 1st. What? I mean, what a move, but that is so jammy from the AI. And I believe Fernando Alonso is going to take it. There's nowhere else for me to get past. Checo's coming. He's trying to get that second. I'm not going to let it happen. Final sector. We go round. Final corner. Can I get a good exit? I do get a good exit. It's going to go down to the line. He sticks it on the line. Let's go. Oh my goodness. goodness! I actually just nicked that on the line of Alonso because he had no ERS left. You saw the backlight was flashing because he was on recharge. Oh my, that was a fantastic sprint race. 93 milliseconds. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a perfect way to start the weekend. A front row start, 2 milliseconds off pole, and then we go and win the sprint. Did we get the fastest lap? No, we're not even close to the fastest lap. My goodness. Okay, I fell off really bad. Lando Norris P5 as well. It's not bad points for the team. Red Bull got 9 and we got 12. So we do extend our lead over Red Bull in the constructors standings. We also now have a 41-point lead rather than a 36-point lead over Verstappen in the drivers. And now we've got to go and do another qualifying and then another like 20 lap race. I'm excited. Let's go. Whew, I still ain't properly recovered from that sprint race. That was one of the most mentalist things I have ever witnessed, let alone played in any racing game ever. But we're now in normal qualifying for the main race on Sunday, and we start with an electrical systems fault, so that's always fun. I am going to do 2 runs today. I think I might just skip the first one in the video because it's kind of pointless. We only really care about the final run that matters, don't we? Now, we're going to take a look at the benchmark lap times before I head out. Make sure my setup's actually good. Yep, lovely. Right. We currently have a 1:02 2.8 by Max Verstappen, which is scary fast. And then a 1:03 dead by Lando Norris. An actual surprising good performance so far by Lando, but his usual trend is to have a really good first run, fail to improve on his second run, and finish like P8. So we're looking to get into the 1:02s is what we're aiming for. Let's see what I can do. Right, I've got a completely clear track ahead of me and behind me. So let's see what kind of lap time I can pull together. I've already gone miles off the track in turn 1. That's not a good sign. That's not a good opening to the lap, but we move. I'm going to go down to about 50% ERS, and my sector 1 is going to be 76 milliseconds quicker than Kevin Magnussen, which isn't particularly fast, although, you know, you have to consider 2 or 3 tenths from that turn 1. A very messy lap so far from Fat Crim, and I am only 30 milliseconds up on Kevin Magnussen. This is not looking good at all. Round the final couple of corners, my strongest area of the track, I go off once again. And that is really poor from me. It's going to be a 1:03.3, which is good enough for P8. We're 49 milliseconds behind Alonso. And, well, we're 3 tenths away from my teammate, 4 tenths away, maybe even half a second away from the leader, Max Verstappen. Not good, but we still have another lap. If I can keep it clean, there's probably up to us to half a second in there anyway. So, new boots, low fuel, end of the session, we go again, and I'm a belter. That's the plan anyway. Could go completely wrong. Alright, final run of qualifying. This means a great deal, because obviously it's qualifying for the main race. Come on, let's have a belter of a lap, and get on the second row at least. Come on. Now, turn 1, I messed up massively. I'm going to brake a little bit earlier, right at the entrance curb, and that is a great way to start the lap. Already a 1/10 of a second up. Come on. Really nice exit out of turn 3. I'm now 3/10 of a second up already. This is looking like a good lap. I'm going to go right on the curbs of the entrance to turn 4. I don't know what corner number that is. Through sector 2. I'm a 1/10 up on Lance Stroll in P8. Half a second up. Final 2 corners. I need to go very, very big. Turn number 1. Ride the curb. That's nice. Slight brake. Over. A little bit off, but I lost time anyway, so it doesn't matter. We crossed the line, and I lost so much time. Oh, Nelly. Okay, we take a third. We absolutely take a third. Once again, a really strong final lap to have a good qualifying result. Is the margin as close as 2 thousandths this time? It's bloody close still. Half a 10th, actually no, a quarter of a 10th off Sergio Perez. And half a 10th off Max Verstappen. It's a Red Bull front row lockout, which is big for them in the constructors. And of course, Max Verstappen, my championship rival. I am definitely happy with that qualifying performance. The second row of P3 is really, really good. especially being this close to the Red Bulls. I definitely bottled pole position, though. I definitely lost about half a tenth through the second left, just as Sector 2 ends. And also, I messed up the final corner, probably lost about 800. So, it's a good performance, but there was a pole position in that lap. But we start P3 for the Grand Prix. Like the sprint race, a decent start. I'm up to second, maybe even first. And it's, of course, a very long race. So let's get to Grand Prix Sunday. And I'm feeling very optimistic. Let's have it. Alright, so we're on the grid, and it actually looks pretty gloomy. I don't think it's going to rain today. It does look like it's going to be fully dry and just a bit cloudy, which actually makes the car better, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how temperatures work with Formula 1 cars, and even if that has any impact in the F1 game. The strategy is also very basic. Of course, it's just going to be a medium to hard. We're going to lower the fuel down, so we have one extra lap. I might actually do one less lap on the medium tyre, which only loses half a tenth, and I get that overcut. Don't need to, but I have the option if I want. Max Verstappen starting first, I'm starting P3. If it stays like that, he will gain 10 points on me. So this is either I need to beat Max Verstappen, and if I can't, I need to finish P2 for that damage limitation. That's the target. If I can't win, get P2, and then try as hard as possible to win. I feel like that's a pretty self-explanatory strategy. I'm ready. Lando Norris needs an absolute belter as well. I'm excited. I'm ready. Let's go. Now, my start in the sprint race was unbelievable. Let's go for another good start in the Grand Prix. And, well, poo. I bottom out. Okay, that's the worst I've ever done. Brilliant. That's exactly what I needed. What an absolute idiot. I had so much wheel spin coming off the line, and my car just bottomed out and stopped working. I think I had too little RPM, which is really annoying, and I actually come out behind my teammate in P6. Oh my goodness, okay, I got to go on a bit of a comeback arc. Great. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but through that first left-hander, my car gets so much understeer, it's actually nuts. I felt it a little bit in the sprint race, but it was most, really bad in qualifying the second one. And it's carrying over to the Grand Prix, which is really, really annoying. But we finished lap 1. I've lost 3 places since the start. Max Verstappen already has, I believe, a second lead over Checo. And I'm all the way down in P6, behind my teammate Lando Norris. Fantastic. Lando's going for it on Hamilton. There's maybe a move round the outside here off them. Someone's also just had a massive lockup. I'm going to get that DRS, but who doesn't have DRS? It's Lewis Hamilton. Actually, wait, neither of these cars have DRS. I don't know how that's happened. Here's Lewis Hamilton diving down the inside. Brake turn. Okay, I think there was a bit of contact there. I don't know how neither of them had DRS. That is very confusing. But I am now up 2 places, up to P4. Next up is Charles Leclerc, who is 1.7 seconds up the road in that prancing horse Ferrari. But that was a nice double overtake. Very confusing, but it's a nice overtake nonetheless. Oh, Leclerc's going for it on Checo. That is a massive move for the constructors. And I've gone off again. I keep going off in turn 1. It's really, really frustrating. Leclerc's got DRS once again. Will he go for it? He's going for it. Go on, Leclerc. Do him in. That's lovely from you. Wheel to wheel. I'm just a spectator at this point. I also need to be careful of Hamilton behind. He's very, very quick. And wait, why don't I have DRS? I'm sorry, why don't I have DRS? Okay, Leclerc sends it on Checo. Hamilton sends it on me. I'm not happy about that whatsoever, Mr. Hamilton, but we survive. And these two are still going wheel to wheel. That's actually quite good for me, because it means I can catch up. So, I appreciate that one. But once again, I get this massive piece of understeer mid-corner and I go into the gravel, but we move, it's fine. Leclerc goes to the inside. Checo defends it. A potential switchback on Leclerc. Not going to happen this time. I do have a lot of ERS though, but I still have to be careful of the cars behind. He goes Leclerc on Sergio Tequila Perez, and he's got that move done. That was very clean by Leclerc. Well done. Now, does Checo have DRS? Yes, he does. That's actually quite annoying, because now I can't go and get Checo and take P3. But we're hanging in here. I just need these two up front to scrap, and then, you know, right place, right time for Fat Krim, and I can maybe get past both of them. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is already got upwards of a 4 to 5 second lead, so he's probably just going to go and win. I need to get P2 here. But I don't need to. I've got like a 45-point lead or wherever it is. It'd just be nice. Damage limitations, you know what I mean? Right, hello, Checo. Bet you didn't expect to see me. Round the outside of Mr. Paris. Got to be careful of Leclerc as well, though. Round turn 1, managed to get past Checo. We're up to P3 into the podium places. Now it's time to reel in Charlie and try and get a P2. Come on, we've got this. Oh! Hey! Charles Leclerc locks up going into turn 1 and sets me free and also holds up everyone else behind. So, Leclerc, I'll buy you some shots later or I'll take you out to dinner and, you know, pay for it or something. Because that's a fantastic play by you. You have just helped me out more than you realise. Now, Max Verstappen is gaining time, but it's nothing crazy. I reckon with the utilisation of an undercut or overcut, I am right back in the picture for this win. And then, of course, I need to look out for behind because Hamilton and Leclerc and Perez are all very, very quick. Alright, so it's been a little while. We are now on lap number 11, which is the lap that I'm going to stop. And nothing's really been happening. I'm trying really, really hard here. I've managed to extend the gap slightly over Perez, Hamilton, and Leclerc and them lot. They are all constantly scrapping with each other. The gap to Verstappen is extending by about 3/10 a lap, roughly. My tyres are starting to struggle, and I believe Verstappen's only pace gain on me is because his car's slightly better. Like, I am pushing this thing to the genuine absolute limit that it can go, and it is stressful. Now, I am going for the undercut. I have no idea if it's going to be successful or not. I genuinely, you know, couldn't tell you. I slightly doubt it. The tyre deck isn't horrendous, and also Verstappen does have a 5-second lead already. But let's see. We're coming to the pits now. Whoa, big step over oversteer and on the grass. That was scary. Anyway, in we go. Into the pits. We must go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Ooh, ooh. Come on, let's have a good stop time. 2.5 seconds. That's the minimum. Come on. Solid stop. Well done, the boys. Now, with this undercut, as you can see, I'm going to come out in some very, very nice, clean air, which is absolutely massive. It means I can get a couple of really decent outlaps down before the likes of Verstappen and the rest come into the pits. And we'll see how this undercut plays out. Right, cars are starting to stop. Neither of the Red Bulls are. We've got Leclerc and Hamilton stopping. I come out miles ahead of them, and I am now going to be stuck in a little bit of traffic behind Pierre Gasly and Porsche and someone else in front. This is turning a little bit to poo all of a sudden. Right, one of the Red Bulls is in. I believe it is Sergio Perez. So Perez pits. Verstappen also pitted and stayed about 5 seconds ahead. I have gained half a second through the undercut, and he's got 2 lap newer tyres than me. Unfortunately, most of that lap time, I'd say upwards of 2 seconds, was just lost by being stuck behind that Alpine for a lap. That absolutely ruined me. So, P1 definitely isn't going to happen now. I am way too far behind. I ain't going to catch up 5 seconds to Max Verstappen. His tyres are fresher and his car is better. What I can do, though, is try and hold on to P2, which is good damage limitation. But, yeah, that's really annoying. Right, I am considerably faster than P3 and 4 and everyone else. It's basically just Verstappen is on one today. My main time losses at the moment is just pretty much every exit on the entire track is pretty much where I'm losing time. Especially on the exit of turn 3. Rubber toe now isn't the time. Yeah, it's just all of the like hard braking zone exits. So like turn 1, turn 3, turn 4, I don't know the corner numbers. That's where I'm losing all my time. The fast corners, especially here in sector 3, I am actually, you know, decently quick. As you can see, I gain about a 2/10 on Verstappen. But yeah, I'm just going to lock in, focus on finishing second, and call it a day. Right, 3 laps remaining, 6.5 seconds behind Verstappen. He's just Don's clear. What a driver, what a performance by him today. Way clear of third place as well. I am vibing to take a P2, which I'll talk about after the race, but I am probably happier than you think I am about a P2, and I'll explain why after this race is finished. Alright, here we go. Final lap of the race. Let's make it a good one. I've saved up a lot of ERS. I don't think I quite have the pace to go for fastest lap. Verstappen has just been that good today. But we can try. We can definitely give it a good crack. Now, we'll go to about 30 something ERS. I'm not too sure. We'll go all the way to the left of the curb. Decent exit. We can now use a bit more overtake. Go, 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 go. Down to 20%. Not too shabby. Into the next corner. Oh, my wrists are killing me. Okay, not a bad exit once again. Still got a nice bit of ERS left. Fuel is also very low, but we definitely have more than enough to finish. Gone very wide through there on the gravel. That's the fastest lap attempt over, but let's just bring it home now. Nice. Over the curb. 7.5 seconds back from Verstappen. 12 seconds ahead of third. And yeah, I am over the moon with this performance, and I can tell you why in a second. Let's just make sure I don't lose it on the final corner. We've done it. A 1 minute 5.5. It's going to be a P2 in the Austrian Grand Prix, round numero 6 of the second season of my Ayrton Senna driver career mode. Let's go. And here's your final finishing order for the race. I missed out on the fastest lap by just over a tenth of a second, but I got that lap ages ago in the first few laps of the race. Now, the reason that I am so happy with that performance is that is one of the best individual drives that I have ever put in on this entire game, and I can explain to you why. My lap times were stupidly consistent on both tyres from start to finish. In fact, let's take a look at this. So, Lando Norris, by the way, P8. That's really poor from him. But look at these lap times on the hards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 laps in a row within, what, just over a tenth of each other? That is nuts. And then, yeah, look at the consistency I've just shown there. That's nuts. That's very impressive even for me. Secondly, the Red Bull was clearly the best car on track today by a mile, and Max Verstappen was the best driver. But I could put it to you this way. If I was in that Red Bull and Verstappen was in that McLaren, I would have won by 7 seconds and 42 milliseconds. I genuinely went as fast as I conceivably could have. I think there was at most maybe half a second of race time I could have got there. That is the best drive I have ever done on this game. Nuts. 12 seconds or so ahead of P3 as well. So the standings now look like this. It's not great. I lose points, but circumstances, you know, under them at least. That's a fantastic bit of damage limitation. So now Verstappen caught up by a bit. Still a 33-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris once again dropped another stinker. So he is all the way down in P7 still, and now is even further away from a top 3. And the constructors look like this because of Sergio Perez getting P3 on the day. Wait, no. He got P5 on the day. The constructors now looks like this. We only have a 12-point lead. That's a big issue. Lando Norris, we need you to step up a little bit. Come on, lad. We believe in you. He can do it. That's all from me, though, today. What a episode. I know the race was a bit boring and very short for you to watch, but that sprint race was also absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like. It actually helps out more than you realise for small creators like myself. And, yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.